Inflation hit 8.5% in March, which is the highest amount in 40 years, according to a recent MarketWatch article. Hi, I'm Matt with Matt Curtis Real Estate, and this raises the question, is inflation legalized counterfeiting? And more importantly, how do you survive and even thrive during a period of high inflation? So we'll talk about how to thrive in this market, but first, let's talk about how inflation is legalized counterfeiting and how it's bad for consumers. Number one is inflation penalizes savers. With 8.5% inflation, you lose $8,500 a year in spending power on $100,000 in savings. Inflation is also a hidden tax. When the government decides to spend more money, they found that the country would revolt if the government imposed a flat 8.5% tax on all savings. However, they can get away with it by just printing the money they want to spend. As a side note, the world would actually probably be a little bit safer place if the governments had to raise taxes for wars versus taxing the people through higher inflation. So the question is, how do you survive and even thrive during this high inflationary period? You start with buying assets. Our fiat currency is getting devalued by the day. And a great place to start when buying assets is real estate because you can buy it with leverage. And so with most real estate investments, you can pay as little as 20% down. And so that means you're borrowing 80% of the value. And so if you have 8.5% inflation at a 20% rate, you would actually get 42.5% return on your investment. The Get Rich Education podcast also reported that since 1994, home prices have increased for all 7 times that interest rates have rose 1% or more. And guess what just happened? Interest rates have rose by more than 1%. Zillow also recently reported that Americans on average earned more from home price appreciation in 2021 than they did from their job. So there's 3 benefits of buying real estate during inflationary environments. Number one, we've already talked about, values rise during inflationary periods. Number 2 is you have a fixed debt that's now worth less due to these new inflated dollars. And then number 3 is cash flow increases because you have fixed debt and the rent increases due to inflation, which is another reason why you don't want to be a renter in this market. So with high inflation and the benefits of buying real estate during high inflationary environments, is there any wonder why, on average, 1 out of 4 homes is being purchased by investors right now? What are your questions on inflation and how it relates to real estate? Add your questions below in the comment section because I want to hear from both renters, homeowners, and investors. And also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay on top of the latest Huntsville, Alabama real estate news.